Hi guys, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeet Bhatia. I hope everyone is doing great. Hi guys, hello, good morning. So we've met again for another Monday afternoon session. That is your legal affairs for CLAT and AILET. If you are someone who's preparing for CLAT this year in 2021, or if you are someone who's preparing for CLAT in 2022, these all current affairs are important for you, and I name them legal affairs because these are related to the judgments that the Supreme Courts have given, the new cases that are going on, and things related to that. Right? So that is very, very important that you listen to all these things very carefully and try to understand what the court is trying to do in these cases. Okay. So first, before we move ahead, the same request that I have with everyone, a like, share, and subscribe would be great. Right? If you do that, that will be amazing. Okay. So the next thing is that if you are not a part of our Telegram channel, you can also join our Telegram channel, which is CLAT@Pratham. As you all know that we put very recent updates on that with related to your CLAT, AILET, and all other law entrances. You get free questions, you get quizzes out there. So you can definitely join us on CLAT@Pratham and be a part of this journey. And we have more than 2,000 subscribers from last 2 years. So definitely it's a growing channel. You can be a part of it and you will get all these free updates for last 2 years for free. You don't have to pay anything for it. It is just a free service that you can go and avail. Now, if you are someone who's looking to get into coaching and wants to just start their practice for your CLAT, AILET, or any other law entrances, or any other entrance exam that you have in your mind that is related to management, hotel management, or it is related to somewhere to fashion, anything that you have decided but still not able to figure out what to do and how to go about it, you can definitely give us a call on 5x9 75392. That will be perfect for us. Okay, so Tanishka asks me about NLAT. Tanishka, you can join us for another session. I can make some of the tips for NLAT for you also. If that is what you want, I can discuss it in detail. That is what I can do for you. Okay, because I don't want to mix up NLAT and our legal sessions like that. Okay. Anything else that you guys have been thinking about? Any other law schools that you've thought about? You can definitely share your ideas about it, and I will definitely make a video on it so that it's absolutely clear that how to go about these kinds of exams. Right? I've made all the videos on CLAT, AILET, LSAT. You can definitely go and check them out. They will be very, very helpful for you. And colleges also, I have made a lot of recommendations for colleges. Tanishka, you can definitely go and check out our video on the different law school exams that we have made videos on. You will find some NLAT there. Sir, what are the other papers then? SLAT, CLAT, LSAT, and AILET. I would say that these are major chunk of exams that you can write. Okay, except that you can write MHCET also. Okay, MHCET is also a great option, but it tends to have a lot of Maharashtrian reservation quota. Right? So if you are a non-Maharashtrian, then it is definitely something that you have to reconsider because it takes very less people from outside Maharashtra. So MHCET can also be an option, and you can aim for GLC Mumbai and ILS Pune in the MHCET exam. That is also possible. Any other college? I don't think so there's any other college that you can go for. Definitely there is Jamia Millia Islamia. If you want to go and pursue your LB from there, that is definitely a possibility. If you're looking for IP University also gives admission through CLAT score. So if you are someone from Delhi, you've got a reservation in your IP University, so you will be very easily be able to get into any of the law schools in IP University, right? So that is it. That is my tip for Pranav. So you can see these colleges that I've told you, and I've made a dedicated video. If not CLAT, what other colleges you can pick up. You can also go for Army Law School Mohali. That is also an option that is available with you. Now coming to the cases for the day. The first case is that criticizing the Bar Council's decision, motivated comments against judges are grounds for disqualifications for lawyers, right? So that is what is being said, and that BCI has amended its own rules, and they have said that any of the person, okay, statement that is made by a lawyer which is indecent or derogatory, defamatory, motivated, malicious, or mischievous against any court or judge or state bar council or the Bar Council of India is a ground for suspension or cancellation of license to practice law. That is basically your bar license. So कोई भी लॉयर अगर कोर्ट के अगेंस्ट पे एक इंडिसेंट या डेरोगेटरी डिफेमेटरी रिमार्क बनाता है किसी भी जज पे या कोर्ट पे या बार काउंसिल पे, स्टेट बार काउंसिल पे, तो ये ग्राउंड हो सकता है एक सस्पेंशन ऑफ हिज बार लाइसेंस. ओके, that is what the new amendment rules that the BCI has put up. They have put in section 5. This is the new given in section 5, right? So that is something that you can see here. Now, coming to the next part is that there were further criticizations or attacks, any decisions on any state bar council or Bar Council of India on public domain will amount to misconduct and would attract disqualification or suspension. अगर किसी भी मतलब लॉयर ने अटैक किया डिसीजंस ऑफ द स्टेट बार काउंसिल और द बार काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया ऑन द पब्लिक डोमेन, पब्लिक डोमेन मींस योर सोशल नेटवर्क, media websites also, your newspapers also, if anything of that sort is being done, would amount to misconduct and will attract disqualification or suspension. So that is definitely there. Okay, so the next thing that you have to understand from this is that this is a very huge ground that is being put up by BCI. आप देख रहे हैं कि काफी सारी चीजों का कोई डेफिनेशन नहीं है. अगर आप देखें तो इनडिसेंट या डेरोगेटरी या डिफेमेटरी, मोटिवेटेड, ये सब कोर्ट के ऊपर ही डिसाइड करना. अगर कोर्ट को लगता है कि ये डेरोगेटरी था और मोटिवेटेड था, तो the bar license of the lawyer can be cancelled. And if you see that what happened with Mr. Prashant Bhushan also, who was he is like one of the biggest advocates in the country, he also faced this kind of rules and regulations, right? So that is definitely there, as he also made some of the motivated remarks against the Supreme Court of India and things related to that. So definitely that is something that you have to remember, that BCI has amended its own rules regarding these kinds of disqualifications of the lawyers who go against the motivation of the court and they make these mischievous and malicious comments, right? First news of the day. I hope this is very clear to all of you, right? Coming to the next part, that is that we have discussed about digital divide, right? In the previous YouTube sessions, I've been very clear that people who didn't there is a digital divide for people to get vaccinated, and people who are not that technologically sound cannot book a vaccinated slot. See, we have got a solution for that. The case that was taken suo moto by the Supreme Court of India regarding the digital divide and not providing vaccinations. Now there is a new statement that is given by the central government on the same. So what the central government has said, that digital divide is not a constraint for access to COVID vaccines. Now involvement of private hospitals is also desirable in the case. Now, what was the thing that was in matter here, that you had to go and register on the COVID website to get yourself vaccinated, right? That was the point that we were raising in the earlier videos, that there is a digital divide and people cannot do it. Now, the central government has said that there are walk-in on-site registration vaccinations also possible. Okay, so if a person doesn't wants to, or doesn't have a digital device or doesn't want to self-register but wants to get vaccinated, can visit the nearest vaccination center, where the health worker of the center would register him in a device of the respective center in the CoWIN platform, and he would be vaccinated, right? So basically, if you don't have a digital platform or you don't have a device, you cannot register yourself, you can directly go to that center and get yourself vaccinated. That is also an option available to you. Next is walk-in sites are permissible. Okay, so all the digital divide is not a constraint for access to vaccination. अगर walk-in site है, अगर आप सीधा जाके वहां पे वैक्सीन लगवा सकते हैं, so that is not a digital divide. Okay, so this is what the government has said, that there is no impediment on vaccination based on availability or otherwise of digital divides or internet. So government has said we are not trying to create any impediment, right, on the availability or otherwise of digital divide or internet, right? That is being said. Now this came because of the suo motu case on COVID-19 management that was initiated by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court asked the center government to reply on the matter, that why have they chosen the digital platform, and all those things were being questioned. The three judges who took the case was Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, L. Nageshwar Rao, and Justice Ravindra Bhatt. These were the three people who were taking the matter and earlier critiqued the vaccination policy of government and termed it arbitrary. These are the three people who said that the vaccination policy of the government is arbitrary. So that is what you have to get into your concentration, that the judges have also gone against the policy that was in the hand by the center. So now this has been gone out of the picture after the statement of the central government that walk-in vaccination centers are being opened, and definitely a person who doesn't have a digital device or internet can also go to these vaccination centers and get themselves vaccinated. So that is a good decision that has to be there. But the central government has also asked the Supreme Court and urged the Supreme Court that the involvement of these private hospitals is definitely very desirable. Okay, because you know that there are a huge chunks of metro cities in our country which runs a lot on private hospitals. So private hospitals can be a very good thing for this kind of a case, for getting people vaccinated all around the country. Now coming to the next part, that is the voluntary gifts that are given by parents or friends to bride or bridegroom out of love and affection are not considered to be under the definition of dowry. Okay, dowry is in Hindi it is called dahez. आप लोगों ने बहुत सारे लोगों ने सुना होगा दहेज के बारे में. There are a lot of people who have problems related to dowry around our country, and there are a lot of cases where the bride has been tortured or have been killed because of dowry in our country. So it has been a very long existing problem that we have seen here. Okay, now the court has a different aspect of it. Is said that while dowry as a quid pro quo for marriage is prohibited, that is since the beginning of the time for the marriage is prohibited, giving of traditional presents to bride or the bridegroom by friends of relatives is not considered to be under the definition of dowry. Okay, now where is this definition of dowry given? It is given in Dowry Prohibition Act, right? That is the act that is there for dowry, and it is also a criminal offense. Right now, this was also held in the case of Netai Ghosh versus State of West Bengal. Okay, now any person who's receiving this gift, okay, from the side of the friends or family, okay, will not be considered to be a dowry presentation, right? So basically gift के confusion हो जाते हैं ना, आप समझे, क्योंकि a lot of things in our country is like, lot of people who get married in our country have this a lot of exchanges of gifts here and there, right? If you would have been to an Indian marriage, there is a lot of changes of gifts and returns and whatever, some gold chains are being given and taken. Okay, so someone has asked me what is quid pro quo. Okay, so a favor or advantage granted in return for something, basically. Okay, that is what it means. Okay, that is the exact meaning, something for something, you can say that. Okay, that is what you can take it as a definition. Okay, yeah, Anushka is right. Okay, but people can misuse this judgment, right? Ananya, definitely they can, but the court takes a reasonable call on these things, right? If the court is not gonna keep this as their landmark to take the judgments ahead, right? That is what they are trying to do. They are just they are analyzing the situation in hand. This cannot be as used as a landmark judgment for further judgments, that every person who comes to the court can say that it was a gift and I was not asking for dowry. That is not going to happen. The court always takes into consideration the matter in hand and they don't decide it before the class. Okay, sir, if bride's parents gives a BMW to bridegroom as a gift, but bride consider it as dowry, then so yes, then it is a dowry if there is a demand for it. Okay, say that the bridegroom has been given a BMW because the father of that bride wanted them to give a BMW. ठीक है? So अगर वो ब्राइड के फादर चाहते थे कि BMW जाए और अगर ग्रूम ने नहीं मांगी, उसने कुछ नहीं बोला कि भाई मुझे गाड़ी चाहिए, घोड़ा चाहिए, कुछ नहीं मांगा, उन्होंने सिर्फ दे दिया, ठीक है, he didn't ask for a गाड़ी, he didn't ask for a horse, that is घोड़ा, he didn't ask for a house, he didn't ask for a flat, he didn't ask for anything, and still the relatives of that bride give them a flat or a car, right, or a farmhouse, then what can the groom do, right? It is something that is gift and they have given it out of affection and love, right? And if the court, it also goes to the court, right? The parents will be called, everyone who's given it will be called, and they will be asked were they forced to give it or not, right? That is how it goes. See, अब इसमें आप बोलोगे सर वो तो आके मना ही करेंगे because they want their daughter to have a good life. That is also a case that you might consider, right? So these all factors are being considered by the court, and like if someone is filing an action against this kind of an case that is going on, then definitely if it is a dowry case, the person will definitely come in front and say that yes, he's been asking for dowry from me, right? Or this was just a gift that was given. Okay, तो मैटर इन हैंड यही है कि अगर अफेक्शन और लव के द्वारा दिया गया एंड इट इज एज अ गिफ्ट एंड द पर्सन हैजंट आस्क्ड फॉर इट, then it is not considered to be a dowry. Okay, so इतना मत सोचो, आगे के केसेस में ऐसे यूज नहीं होता, ये सब सर्कमस्टेंशियल केसेस भी होते हैं कई बार. Okay, Ananya asked me, should we write these cases? Ananya, if you want to, you can definitely write it down. That is purely your choice. Otherwise, the YouTube videos are always there for you to watch again. Right, they get saved on YouTube, so you can definitely watch it whenever you want. If you want to write it somewhere for your own preference, go for it. I'm not gonna say no. It is definitely helpful for you if you want to. But आपसे नाम वगैरह कोई नहीं पूछेगा, तो बस आपको अगर concept भी पता है, that is good enough to go. See, this can be a case for you in the CLAT examination. Can you imagine that they give you this passage, right? They give you this judgment exactly in the CLAT passage, and then they ask you factual scenarios. Like the questions that you've been asking right now, they can make a factual scenario on that, and they can ask you such questions. So definitely these kinds of cases can help you to understand and analyze the factual scenarios also. ठीक है, कि अब इससे बहुत सारे केस निकल सकते हैं. ठीक है, उन्होंने लव एंड अफेक्शन से दिया, एंड देन दे गो टू द कोर्ट, डिसाइड. यू आर द लॉयर इन द केस, so definitely there can be factual scenarios that can come up from these kinds of cases. Anushka, 60 marks, in which mock are you talking about? Are you talking about AILET or CLAT? Which mock are you talking about, Anushka? Do mention that also. Chaliye, coming to the next news of the day is that the UK High Court has rejected Neerav Modi's appeal against extradition to India. Okay, so everybody of you should know what is the meaning of extradition. If a person has committed any crime on the land of a country, and then he just flies off to another land or another territory which is owned and has a different land rule, okay, that can be in another continent or another country, then they can be extradited to the country in which they have committed the offenses. Now, how can extradition happen? Extradition only happens if there is an extradition treaty between two countries, right? That if someone is found that who has committed a crime, say in UK, there's someone who's committed a crime and he flew to India, right? And he's caught by the Indian agencies, then he can be extradited to the UK, right? Because there's an extradition treaty and he has to be tried in the UK because he has committed offenses out there, right? So that is what extradition treaty talks all about. Now, Neerav Modi is now only left with an opportunity to make a case in an oral hearing at the High Court with a fresh leave to appeal application, right? So that is what is the only application, leave to appeal. Okay, so he needs a leave to appeal application that has to be filed by Mr. Neerav Modi. Now, what happens is in the High Court of England and Wales last Tuesday, right, rejected an application that he filed, okay, against his extradition to India related to the 1400 crore Punjab National Bank scam. As you all know, there was a Punjab National Bank scam that was being done by Neerav Modi, where he showed the business profiles of his company as very different from what it was. And also he bribed a lot of Punjab National Bank employees to provide him with a loan, right? There is a Netflix series on the same. If you want to know it in detail, you can just go and watch it also. It is called Bad Boy Billionaires. I will not recommend it before going for CLAT exams, definitely, but you can definitely watch it after you are done with your exams, right? And you can understand, they have talked about Vijay Mallya, they've talked about Neerav Modi, they have even talked about Subrata Roy, right, who is the owner of Sahara Group, right? There have been a lot of money and financial scams in our country, 2G scam and fodder scam and things of that sort. So you can definitely go and watch it, and that will be an easy way for you to learn about it. Okay, so this was the last case for the day, I guess. This is adults have fundamental right to choose their own life partners. As you've seen, like in recent times, we have discussed a lot of types of cases. Okay, a lot of people who are here, I have LCS sessions with them where we discuss legal current affairs in detail with each one of them, and definitely I cover a lot of stories around those legal current affairs. Now here, if we have seen earlier, Punjab Haryana High Court, we talked about live-in relationships. Odisha High Court talked about same-sex marriages and same-sex couple living together, and they have provided them protection. Now we are talking about adults from interfaith, right? Like Hindu Muslim or Muslim Christian, whatever, interfaith couple were there. And the Uttarakhand High Court said that adults have the fundamental right to choose their own life partners, right? So that should be a basic thing, we say, but the court had to say it, right? Because it seems to be not that basic in our country. So definitely the court had to provide protection for these kinds of people, and definitely the court said that the adults have the right to choose their own life partners. Okay, so if you are an adult, basically that means that you are above 18, right? But for boys, if for a male it is above 21, that only that they can get married, right? And for females it is above 18, right? So I hope everybody is informed about that thing, right? That the age for marriage, minimum age for marriage for boys is 21 years, and for girls it is 18 years. Okay. And being from the state like Rajasthan, there are a lot of cases that come up regarding child marriages in that state. Okay, it is a very persisting problem that goes on in the rural areas. So definitely these kinds of judgments make a lot of difference to the societal thinking also. Now this case came in where there was an interfaith couple in Uttarakhand, and they filed this complaint where there was a threat to their life. Okay, so definitely if there is a threat to the life, then the court has to provide protections to such individuals. So Uttarakhand High Court directed the police protection to this interfaith couple, and opposition to their union was Noori Begum versus Senior Superintendent of Police Uttam Singh Nagar. ठीक है जी, ये था हमारा केस. Sir, if I want to marry a Muslim girl and my parents are saying if I do so they will harm themselves, then what will the court do? Okay, that is a very interesting question. Okay, so you can see that if you want to marry a Muslim girl and your parents say that they will harm themselves, then they are trying to threaten you with the committing of suicide. Okay, they are attempting to suicide. That is also a criminal offense. So you can definitely like if you want to go to the police station and tell them about that, definitely that is something that will happen, but the court will not do much on it, right? So see, you have to understand that the court will take into consideration when there is a matter which has a like ground to be taken ahead, Okay, say that the family is trying to kill you. Okay, say your family, if you want to marry a Muslim girl, they're like गोली मार देंगे तुमको. ठीक है, अब ऐसा कोई केस आ जाता है आपके हाथ में. So definitely it is the duty of the court to save their own citizens. That ki bhai, if there is someone who wants to kill me because I'm getting married to someone else, then that is something that you have to remember. Okay, so definitely you can take an action against such matters also. Pranav, this seems to be like a very connected case you have got from somewhere, but it is nice. Okay, I guess you will have able to get your own answers from this, right? Very real life thing you have gotten out, very real life questions. I love such questions, so that is great. Okay, so protection will be provided. Okay, and if you want, they can be charged under the IPC also, because attempt to suicide is also considered to be a crime in the Indian Penal Code. Suicide is not a crime, because suicide कर लिया तो किसको charge करेंगे आप? But attempt to suicide is definitely a crime, right? चलिए, that is great, Pranav. Ananya has also mentioned the section for you, so you can also have a look to that. So that is it. Okay, Nattu has a general doubt. Go ahead, Nattu Singh. Please tell me about your general doubt. I would love to listen to it. And please be quick. And so before we move ahead, I will request all of you to please hit the like and subscribe button and hit on the bell icon, so that you can meet and have such conversations with me and like just be very clear about your concepts. Okay, yes, mostly. Yes, Nattu, yes, definitely. If there is state of Maharashtra, that is mean that the court was going, like the case was going in the state of Maharashtra. Definitely the court of Maharashtra has taken the case, right? It is the state who's going against the person. Definitely. And if it is mentioned, yes, it is definitely a Supreme Court judgment. Yes, it is definitely like that. Chaliye, that is it. नॉट ऑलवेज हो सकता है ना कि स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र से कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी चला गया हो, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी उसके अंदर ऑर्डर दे दिया हो. सो दैट आल्सो हैपेंस दैट द लाइक दे आर बीइंग going again for a hearing in the Supreme Court. There is a re-appeal for that, right? Then in that matter, it cannot be always, though. There's no always, right? There's no set rule for that. Okay, so if the case is being reconsidered and there is a hearing again in the Supreme Court, still the name would remain the same, right? So definitely that happens, and the Supreme Court sometimes overturn these cases also, but the name remains the same. If it is the origin is from state of Maharashtra, then it will be state of Maharashtra, right? Sir, what should be my strategy to attempt mock? What is a decent score in CLAT mock? See, so all the people who keep on asking me what is a decent score for CLAT mocks, I always tell them it depends on the mock that you are writing. Okay, Anushka, if the mock is easier on the side and people might get 100 marks, 110, 105, whatever. If it is a difficult paper, they might get 95, 98, 99, 100, whatever, right? So it exactly depends on the quality and what are the people scoring average. Okay, so you have to check what was the average score of that mock. Okay, or you can ask the person that what was the topper's score, and then you can compare your score from that, right? So that is the way that you have to see what was the decent score according to that mock, particular mock. Okay, so your strategy to attempt the mock should be very straightforward. I have made so many videos on how to attempt mock. First, make a rule that what sections you'll choose the first and the last. Okay, where will you start your exam from and where will you end your exam at? That is very, very important for you. Next, then you have to decide how much time you take to do each section and each question. That is also very important for someone who's going for CLAT examination. Take a stopwatch and then analyze how much time do you take to do one question or one section or any one paragraph. How much time do you take to do all of this? Mention it, because that is definitely going to help you, and definitely add 10 seconds to it. Okay, 5 to 10 seconds add कर लेना जो भी आप करते हो, क्योंकि एग्जाम के अंदर थोड़ा सा प्रेशर ज्यादा होता है. ठीक है, so that pressure leads to a lot of different thoughts coming to your mind. So a little bit of 5 to 10 seconds of margin, if you add up here and there, then you will be able to get the real amount of time that you're going to take. And thirdly, Set your attempt rate. Okay, what number of questions are you going to attempt in the CLAT examination? That is also very, very important. Fourth, you have to decide that till what time. Okay, that because it is a long paper, right? You have to read a lot. You have to decide till how much time can you stay productive. Okay, some people stay productive for 90 minutes, some stay for 70 minutes, some stay for 100 minutes. It depends on you and your practice, right? So you have to find out till how much time are you fully productive and you're able to understand everything that's coming on your plate. So you have to make a plan according to that, right? कि अगर मैं 90 मिनट तक fully productive हूँ तो मैं कौन कौन से sections कर सकता हूँ जो मैं पूरा दिमाग जिसमें को लगाने की जरूरत होगी, right? And what will be the sections that I will be able to do once I'm tired or I have a little fatigue kicking in, right? तो ये सब आपको बिल्कुल समझ के जाना चाहिए. और लास्ट है मॉक की स्ट्रैटेजी कि आपको एनालिसिस बहुत ध्यान से करना है. ठीक है, अगर आप 2 घंटे का एग्जाम लिखते हैं, so I would say that you have to analyze it for 3 hours, right? Because it is a set of 150 questions that you have got in your paper, and that 150 questions can definitely come in variation somewhere or the other in your CLAT examination also, right? So do make sure that you analyze your mocks completely. Okay, जितना 2 घंटे आप अगर आप मॉक देने में लगाते तो आप 2 से 3 घंटे उसको एनालाइज करने में भी लगाओगे तो ही उस मॉक का फायदा है फ्रेंड्स. ओके, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस दैट गिविंग अ मॉक is not the only thing that you have to do. You have to analyze it also. That is also the very most important part of giving the mock. It is as important, like जितना important mock लिखना है उतना ही important mock को analyze करना है. ठीक है, तो आपको ये बात समझनी होगी और उसको ढंग से एनालाइज करना होगा. जब आप एनालिसिस करेंगे, अगर आप 10 मॉक भी लिखते हैं तो आप 1500 क्वेश्चंस का एक क्वेश्चन बैंक सॉल्व करके जा रहे हैं, विच इज ऑल रैंडम क्वेश्चंस दैट कैन पॉप अप इन योर एग्जाम. तो आप इस चीज को बहुत ध्यान से और सीरियसली लीजिए कि द नंबर ऑफ मॉक्स यू सॉल्व, यू हैव टू एनालाइज ऑल ऑफ देम वेरी वेरी केयरफुली. ठीक है, सो दैट इज इट फॉर टुडे गाइस. Hit the like button and the subscribe button so that we can meet again in a very next session, and I will be joining you back on Wednesday with new cases and case laws. And if you have any suggestions for the college's web like videos that you require or any other particular case laws that you're looking forward to, you can definitely put it down on the comment box. It was a great session with all of you. Stay safe, use your mask and hand sanitizers, as we all know that we are, I guess, on the onset of the 3rd wave in the country. So staying safe is very important. And as you all guys are going for the exam, for you, it is the most important time of your life right now. So definitely staying healthy, eat healthy, and maintain your social distancing and come in contact with people as less as possible, because you have your exam in next 25 days. अगर आप बीमार हो जाते हैं, ठीक है, आपको 5-6 दिन आपके symptoms आने में लगते हैं, and after that you have to quarantine for 14 to 15 days. So that will be a scary part of your life, and I don't want any one of you to go in such a state right now. So staying healthy and safe is utmost important for a student who's going for a competitive exam. So definitely stay safe and use your masks and hand sanitizers and maintain social distancing. Best of luck, guys. Hope to see you soon all again. Thank you for joining the sessions. Bye-bye and take care and stay healthy.